All right, looks like it's going to get going here. If you've seen the latest Gust games that are coming out with that are alchemy based, it's part of the Atelier series. They basically focus around alchemy, and the main hook to the game is that you go out into the world and you actually acquire items, and that's how you gain strength instead of like your normal sort of battling and gaining experience. You go out and there's the main hook is usually like an alchemist that either just simply become better, or there's like an overarching arc of getting better at alchemy, and there's usually like a story behind it. So in this particular one, this is a PS2 game, and there's like 18 different games in the series, maybe from like PS1 all the way up to now there's PC, PS Vita, um, but the series is pretty long running, and it's pretty cool for a JRPG, but it's really different. The latest ones are good. I played some of the PS Vita ones, but they just seem to be going down a really complicated path. So I thought I'd do a video here to show some of the simplistic earlier ones that are still just really, really fun to play and still get really complex really quick. I think that's sort of like a trend in gaming. You know, when something works, you just always have to build upon it, you know, until it breaks, really. So like I haven't even bought the past couple Atelier games. They look interesting, and I've heard good reviews, but I just ended up going backwards for some reason. And then I found this series. This is called Khemia, and this is the second one, which received a little bit of criticism because they said there was a bug in it at one of the bosses at the end, and if you weren't powered up enough, you could never defeat him. So, but I guess with like normal play without a speed run, maybe a lot of people didn't notice. So anyway, I started playing this one because I finished the first one just to see what it was like, and I really started to enjoy it because, like I said, they're just really kind of fun games. I'll give you a quick gist of like how it works instead of doing a full-on tutorial. But mostly, this one is not really going out into the world, but you're actually in a school. And the main hook is, of course, to become a better alchemist. So in the process of doing that, you meet friends, and you go take classes, and it actually is run like an actual school. So instead of like week to week going out into the world, you still go out into the world, but you just report back to a university, which is pretty fun. It's a cool hook. This is the main game. And like I said, this is a PS2 game. It sometimes can look a little PS1-ish, or like maybe assets aren't quite ported over, but it's still really playable. You know, the graphics can sometimes look a little bit strange. Like if you notice the ceiling fan, you can see that it's got just a little bit of pop-out compared to the background. And like looking at it, I don't even know if it works as a ceiling fan sometimes. Some of these graphics, visually it looks fine, but it's the way it's perceived if you're like looking at graphics moving around sometimes. Like things will just be floating in the air, and you have to like kind of figure out their place in this world. I don't know how else to say it, but it's pretty funny. So when you're actually doing alchemy, so at this point, you know, I've gone out and I've finished a few weeks, and I've finished collecting some things, and I've done a whole bunch of alchemy. There's different categories. I can try making something really simple. Usually it ends up breaking it at this point because you try to make things better. But like the puppy paw gloves here, they're at a 92. I won't be able to get it much better. And most of the weaker items won't get better. But we can try. Let's try something that's like 70s or 80s. If I can't find one, I might just make something and scratch whatever comes out of it. Alright, so here's an item. It's a rock scale. And it looks like armor. It's got yellow. I'll have to remember who the alchemists are for the colors. And you actually draw upon your classmates for help. So, and this one, made from wood, hard as rock. Let's take a look at what we can do with it. If we're going to synthesize it, we'll have to use this oak chip, a piece of blue steel, and we have a stone heart, which might be the optimal because we have a yellow and a yellow. So I think we can match that up with some alchemist. But also this blue one's not too bad. I think the base 85 and the plus 14 with the E level is going to give us the biggest bonuses. So I'm going to go with these two first. Let's see what we can get out of this. So using these ingredients, you leverage the ingredients according to the help you have as well. Now I don't have my my water alchemist, otherwise that would be extremely helpful because they'd be able to apply water bonuses to both the last items. Yoon is still pretty good because his fire elements will be good for weapons and armor, and I think we have an Ingo element there. So he's our only choice, so we'll go with him. And the basic system is you've got that revolving set of orbs here, and each one you select will give either a bonus, a negative, or it'll completely nullify. So since we have a yellow attribute, ideally you want to select the yellow orb, but sometimes you want to play it off depending on how you want to work the bonuses for that. If we had a negative E level, you could throw it off to gain a bonus. On this one, we have an 8, or yeah, we have a plus 8, so I think hitting yellow right away is our only option. Yoon has fire elements. If we wanted to change to all red, we could use that. The melting, we're going to use that for the next one, and then increase firepower. I'll talk about that in a second. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and select yellow, I think. So we got our bonus, and here's the blue steel. Now I think blue steel is a base Ingo, and that means that this guy is going to give a bonus of 1.5 with it. So let's see if that's the case here. So we'll take Yoon's bonus, and we have a plus 20. We still have to match the blue, but we should get a maybe like a 30? Is that how it's going to work? Okay, good. So we got our 30 bonus. Now the cool thing here is we don't actually even need to do anything else, because I think that plus 14 is going to bring it over 100. So there's no real reason to risk anything, because we have our bonus, and we max this item out. So now we have a rock scale that's at 100 level. And that's it for this system, using one alchemist. Let's go ahead and save this since we made like a minor improvement, I guess. I wonder if I was always using the water elements at that point instead of making the most of Yoon. Because I'd gotten it close and I've been synthesizing quite a bit before this. Pretty funny. But that's the basic idea of alchemy. The basic idea of the game, however, and trust me, you can synthesize things all day and play with the bonuses. That's like the biggest hook to this whole series and the most fun. But like I said, it can get pretty complex in other games. This one manages to keep it in check pretty good. So we'll head out into the world, and let's see. It's asking me to go off campus with an exclamation point, meaning that I'm probably in the middle of a story arc. But you can roam around campus if you want, and it usually doesn't waste time. That's another hook that the later games introduce, is that if you go around the world and start doing things, it actually uses up time, and that really puts a lot of stress on the game as far as like trying to like max out things. But it makes it pretty cool as far as realism. Let's roam around a little bit. We can go to campus grounds. I usually like going there just for the heck of it, because there's some fun characters. Like, there's one archer that's standing around usually doing nothing. Here she is. Well, I ended up not attending most of my classes. I've gotten so much better over this past year, but I didn't attend most of my classes. I don't really know what she's aiming at either. She's just aiming it down the hallway, which is kind of interesting. And here's this cat girl. Graduation's coming up. Can't wait for spring. And the traditional barrel. Don't know why that's a running joke, but it is. Usually roaming around talking to people doesn't really give too many bonuses. It's just something kind of fun to do, and they develop the characters, so it's interesting, and they're just kind of fun to look at the sprites. Sprite-based graphics are pretty cool, I think. There's just something fun about them. So here's this one, Mimiske. She's got a shop, and we can collect some items if we need them. You check the unit count, make sure you've got at least, like, I don't know, 5 of each. Because when you're doing alchemy, it's always trial and error, so you really don't want to worry about like, how rare, collecting one rare item and then blowing it, on one, poor alchemy choice. I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know if there's anything else super interesting, but you can. That's another weird thing about this menu in this game, is when you go to some, it switches that barrier over. I guess because it's highlighting the building, but visually it can get a little bit distracting when you're trying to switch quickly between places. Other than that, I don't have too many complaints about the menu. Let's go check out what they want us to do off campus. Go to the Living Water Forest, and you've got like a world map. It's not like a 3D map, and you just select places. So he's gonna say the story here. He doesn't mind helping, but what do you want me to do? It's an easy job. Let's go get a steel lobster, and then we'll just go on ahead and do it. Oh, we're gonna do it as a team. Cool. All right. So now here, time does play an effect, and it doesn't quite change the storyline, but what it does is it changes the environment. So as time moves on, it's going to get darker, and the enemies, of course, will get more difficult as time goes by. So the item is a rock lobster. A lot of times you can just go to the map and it'll tell you exactly where this rock lobster is going to be. I think maybe if it's a rock lobster, either we have to fish for it here, or it's something we haven't been to. Meaning if you see that radish icon, we can go check out the radish. So either way, we'll have to pass the fishing spot before we get to the icon. So let's go on ahead and check that out. We'll do some fishing. If you notice the... oh, it looks like I'm losing FPS in this level. Let me try and speed that up. I'm not quite sure if I can make any improvements on this. Sometimes the levels themselves are just a little bit too detailed. But that's alright. We'll see if we can't get through this here. Maybe once we get to the battle scene, we can speed up a little better. Okay, so that's just a little bit rough spot. We're back to 60 frames here. I'm also video recording this, and I don't know if it's hurting it or not. But the basic idea behind battle is actually pretty cool. You can do your simple skill attacks. You've got some pretty interesting effects going on. Okay, so you can call on your allies too. See that? Okay. If you wanted to, he can come into battle. We need him to. I think we're just going to wipe this guy out now. And usually you want to try and do as much damage and things as well, so you get better bonuses at the end battle and better ratings. So we got a fast kill bonus on that one. Maybe there's like a first hit kill that we missed out on by not killing him with the first strike, but overall that's not too big of a hit. So let's go ahead and try and make our way to the fishing spot. Actually, I'm going to pause it here and see if I can't get this to increase the frames.